Welcome to Kim with Kim. I'm Kim. Welcome back. Thank you so much for coming. So, today we're going to talk about that money, honey. I'm lying. We're talking about student loan debt relief. So, if you're a little unfamiliar with that, right now in the U.S., Biden has proposed to alleviate student loan debt, and not all. He just wants to, or what's been proposed is you have to be approved, and it'll be for 10 grand, which is not a lot. If you know how much student loan debt people have acquired, 20 grand if you were someone who, sorry, that kind of got in my eye. 20 grand if you're someone who received the Pell Grant when you were in college, or if you are still in college. So not an outrageous amount, because I know some friends who have about 40 grand or more in student loan debt. So, I think 10 grand is doable. Pretty much you have to apply for it, and then we were waiting to see if student loan debt does get relieved. Right now it's been blocked. I believe it was Nebraska. Yeah, it was Nebraska who was the first state to challenge the proposal. And so other states followed, got blocked. Now it's waiting for the Supreme Court hearing in February. So I'll probably do a follow-up video to this in February or afterwards when they decide if we get it or not. Just my feelings about it as a former college student and someone who thinks that education is something that should be free, because why shouldn't we all have the ability to learn? Why shouldn't we all have the opportunity to further our education and seek higher learning if we want to? That just doesn't even seem right that you would put a price tag on that, because if someone has the brain to be a doctor and someone has the willpower to be a doctor or an astronaut or a lawyer, or people, all these geniuses that want to expand and learn their craft and learn a lot more, why should they have to go in debt for that? That doesn't even make sense. Like, what if the doctor that cures cancer can't get an education because they can't afford it? Or what if the doctor that should be, curing any type of disease didn't go further on because they got so broke? And I'm not even gonna lie, like my student loan debt, yes, I have some. My student loan debt isn't even in like, the 6 digits, or I don't think it's outrageous. I can afford to pay it back, but it'd be nice not to, it'd be nice. It alleviates some stress out of my life personally. I just think that when it comes to a progressive government, right, a government that looks at the youth as the future and where this country is going, I think that student loan debt being relief only makes sense. Like, you have kids in schools now use tablets. Like, parents are going in debt already getting these tablets and iPads for their kids now because of COVID. Which, talk about COVID. COVID's the only reason that our student loan debt got paused, because the Department of Education paused the payments during COVID, and they haven't come back since, because then we had an election, and then after that, they kept extending it, so you just didn't have to make payments. They kept extending it, and now because Biden is trying to alleviate the student loan debt, now is when you see people. First of all, I don't even know why people don't want us to. Like, why would you not want student loan debt to be relieved? If you didn't go to college and it doesn't affect you, it doesn't affect you. If you already paid back your student loan debt, then why don't you want good for other people? Like, why are you lacking empathy? It costs $0 to be nice. It costs $0 to alleviate someone else's debt. Like, if you already paid it, you already paid it. But, you know, I just don't see the harm. And it's, like I said, it's 10 grand that you can get approved for to come off your student loan debt. Or it's 20 grand if you got a Pell Grant. And it's not even for everybody. It's for people who, if you are making $125,000 or less, like, you have to make below that to be approved for your student loan debt to be relieved. And you have to apply for it. So not only is there an approval, there's a paper trail. Like, each person needs to be approved. Each person needs to apply. Each person, you know, there's a little work required. Unlike, not to bring up the military, but just as an example, you know, unlike the military where we spend buku money on the military and you can't even track those funds. You can't even tell me where $1 trillion is. Like, you mean to tell me someone approved that spending and nobody opposed that, which, I mean, the country should be safe, but for some reason you have something very clear cut, helping the future, helping people who want to help, you know, help the country essentially. Because if you got a degree, that was work, that was a lot of suffering, that was a lot of stress, that was, you know, long nights, early mornings. And I'm speaking from experience. Like, my sleep schedule is still messed up from college, and I'm not even using my degree, which, I mean, technically you use everything you've acquired in knowledge every day. So I'll never regret going to school. I've absolutely loved my college experience. And I think anyone who wants one should be allowed to have one. I just really hope that the Supreme Court makes the right ruling come February. And I really do hope that student loan debt is relieved, because imagine the weight off of our shoulders. Like, the stress of having debt, I can't even, if you don't understand, lucky you. But having debt is very stressful. And I think going to school and thinking, like, we all went to school thinking this is creating a better future for ourselves, generational wealth, like, all of those things were in mind personally. And I've had conversation with others, so I know that they also think these things. So it's like, when you think of, you went through this essentially struggle to seek out your higher education, and then now fast forward to our economy is not its best. The cost of living, like, eggs, 18 count eggs are like $9 at Publix right now. Like, the cost of living is just very, very high. So, you know, you think of those things and you think, wow, like, if someone could take some debt off of anybody, whether or not you have kids, whether or not you're single, whether or not, you know, you're even still going to school, it'll do a lot of good. I really think it'll do a lot of good. It'll create a better mental for people that are struggling with anxiety all the time. I think it'll make all of us, you know, maybe people will go back to school. Me personally, like, I'm not going back to school right now, but maybe I would if I knew I wasn't acquiring more debt. Maybe I would if I felt that things were picking up and things felt more fluid, because, you know, like, excuse me, like I said, COVID-19 changed a lot of things. That's why it was even on pause. So, you know, we can only hope for the best, and we can only do our best. But excuse me. See, it's real stressful to talk about debt, but I really do hope that student loan debt is relieved. I really do. I mean, I'm not sure how it'll go with the current Supreme Court setup, but we will see. Okay, and excuse me, I'm not feeling my best, but I still showed up for Kim with Kim because we're gonna be here and we're gonna do our best all the time. Excuse me. I just want to say thank you for being here again. Thank you so much for joining into my channel. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know if you like this. Let me know if you're looking forward to the follow-up. And yeah, you know, let's all show up and do our best and be the change we want to see. Even when we're not feeling our best, let's still do the best that we're capable of. And keep trying to be, you know, the change we want to see in this world. I really hope you have a great day. I hope this video helps you understand. I know I didn't deep dive in it. I just kind of wanted to touch on it because, you know, I got the email today, just like searching through my emails, deleting them, and I'm like, you know what? Let me talk about this because it's important. So you guys have a good one. Be safe, okay? Thanks. It's Kim with Kim. I'll see you next week. Bye.